Shares of Novo Nordisk are rising in the pre-market. The company announced the FDA has granted approval for its weight loss drug Wegovy to treat a serious metabolic disease affecting the liver. The Danish drug maker also out with news regarding Ozempic. And Angelica Peebles has some of the details for us on the phone. Angelica, what do we know?
Hey, David. Well, this morning, Novo is saying that they're going to start selling Ozempic directly to consumers. So this will expand its NovoCare platform that already carries weight loss shot Wegovy. Now, remember, this is a diabetes drug, and Ozempic will be available for $4.99 a month for people paying out of pocket for the drug. So, again, it's a little confusing, but Ozempic and Wegovy have the same active ingredient, but Wegovy is approved for weight loss, and Ozempic is approved for diabetes. So now you'll be able to get both. And Ozempic is better known than Wegovy, so this could be one way to reach people who are looking for that drug off-label. They might think it's the obesity drug, and they want that because it has the better name recognition. And Novo is also announcing that it's working with GoodRx to make that $4.99 cash price for Ozempic and Wegovy available at more than 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. So that's another expansion. And this is all just a part of Novo trying to fight back against the compounders who are selling those knockoff versions of semaglutide. And that's been weighing on Novo, and it played a big role in the company cutting its full-year sales forecast. So anything that Novo can do, really, to make this drug more affordable to people who are willing to pay out of pocket could help them claw back some of that share that they've been losing, guys.
So this could help sort of, I don't want to call it the casual user, but perhaps those people who are targeting some sort of family function a few months down, they want to lose weight for, and they're willing to spend $1,000 to lose some pounds. I wonder, what are the prices from Eli Lilly for its two weight loss drugs out there right now?
So they do also have, of course, their own discounted directly, and it's similarly priced, but these are both more expensive than the compounded versions, and I think that's what's interesting. So you're seeing around $500 or so for these legitimate versions from Lilly and also Novo. But at the same time, they're competing with these compounders who are selling knockoff versions. But still, you know, people might see them as versions of GLP-1s for like $200, $300 a month. And so even though the prices are coming down, it's about half the price of the list price that you would pay if your insurance company doesn't cover it and you have to pay out of pocket. It is less than that, but it's still more expensive than those compounded versions that you can find online.
Meantime, Angelica, some of the lower prices here are being offset, at least in Lilly's case, by some price hikes in Europe. Is that right?
Yeah, so last week, Lilly said that they were going to increase the price of Mounjaro in the UK as they tried to equalize the prices in the US. And other countries. Now they're saying that they're going to, try to be more aggressive in their negotiations with other countries. But, it is interesting to hear them talk about it in the context where you have the president saying that he wants drug prices in the U.S. to come down. And in order to do that, you need to increase those prices overseas. Now, I will say with the Lilly news last week that they didn't announce any price decreases here in the U.S. And so there's more to see in terms of how that actually materializes and whether we do see any changes as a result of what they're doing overseas.
Angelica, you mentioned Ozempic and Wegovy have sort of different approvals in terms of what they're used for, and obviously different generations, different brand recognition. But to what degree is this market evolving to where, the existing kind of older generations of these drugs are maybe going to face a little more competition? I know we're getting oral versions, other companies involved. It seems as if maybe the barriers to entry for actually having something in this category isn't as high as once thought.
It's actually the big debate right now because there was so much hype around Lilly's oral drug. And remember, just a couple of weeks ago, we got that data that largely disappointed investors. And now there's this reshaping. People are kind of going back and looking at their assumptions and saying, maybe these two shots, maybe Zepbound and Wegovy are really the best we're going to get right now. Yes, there's a ton else in development. Lilly's oral is still going to play a big role. Nobody's disputing that, but the question is how much. And also the barriers to entry are going to be high because by the time that other companies come in with their drugs later this decade, you're going to have such a moat around Zepbound and Wegovy, especially because Medicare is going to soon start negotiating the price of Ozempic, which will then affect Wegovy. And then, theoretically that will spill into the commercial market. So will you start to see the price of prices of those come down. And then the manufacturing cost is a really significant piece of this. So if you're a new competitor, how are you going to compete against Lilly and Novo? So there's so much in terms of the competitive dynamic here that people are paying attention to.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, it's literally one of the most watched new product categories of recent years. Fascinating to witness. Angelica, thanks. We'll talk soon. Angelica Peebles.